Zechariah chapter 1. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, the word of Adonai came to the prophet Zechariah, son of Berechiah, son of Iddo, saying, Adonai has been furious with your fathers. Therefore tell them, Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, Return to me. It is a declaration of Adonai Tzavaot, and I will return to you, says Adonai Tzavaot. Do not be like your fathers, to whom the former prophets cried out, saying, Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, Turn back now from your evil ways and from your evil deeds. But they did not listen or pay attention to me. It is a declaration of Adonai. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? But my words and my decrees, which I commanded my servants the prophets, did they not overtake your fathers? Then they repented and said, As he determined, Adonai Tzavaot has dealt with us according to our ways and our deeds. On the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month Shevat, in the 2nd year of Darius, the word of Adonai came to the prophet Zechariah, son of Berechiah, son of Iddo, saying, In the night I saw, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse was standing among the myrtle trees that were in the ravine. Behind him were red, sorrel, and white horses. Then I asked, What are these, my lord? Now the angel speaking with me said to me, I will show you what these are. Then the man standing among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are the ones Adonai has sent to walk back and forth throughout the earth. They answered the angel of Adonai, who stood among the myrtle trees, saying, We have walked throughout the earth, and behold, all the earth sits quietly and still. Then the angel of Adonai answered and said, Adonai Tzavaot, how long will you withhold compassion on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah with whom you have been angry for 70 years? Adonai answered the angel who was speaking to me with pleasant, comforting words. Then the angel speaking to me said, Cry out, saying, Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, I am exceedingly zealous for Jerusalem and for Zion, and I am infuriated with the haughty nations. I was a little angry with them, but they furthered their own calamity. Therefore, thus says Adonai, I will return to Jerusalem with compassion. My house will be built there, declares Adonai Tzavaot, and a measuring line will be stretched out over Jerusalem. Again cry out, saying, Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, my cities will again overflow with prosperity, and Adonai will again comfort Zion, and will again choose Jerusalem. Chapter 2. Then I lifted up my eyes, and behold, I saw 4 horns. I said to the angel speaking with me, What are these? He said to me, These are the horns that have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. Then Adonai showed me 4 craftsmen. I asked, What are these coming to do? He answered, These are the horns that scattered Judah, so that no one could raise his head. But the craftsmen have come to frighten them, to cast down the horns of the nations that have lifted up their horn against the land of Judah to scatter it. I lifted up my eyes, and behold, I saw a man with a measuring line in his hand. I asked, Where are you going? He answered me, To measure Jerusalem, to see how wide and how long it is. Then behold, the angel speaking with me and left, and another angel went out to meet him, saying to him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem will be inhabited as a village without walls because of the great number of men and livestock in it. For it is a declaration of Adonai, will be a wall of fire around it, and I will be the glory inside it. Oi, oi, flee from the land of the north. It is a declaration of Adonai, because I scattered you like the 4 winds of heaven. It is a declaration of Adonai. Oi, Zion, escape, you who are living with the daughter of Babylon. For thus says Adonai Sabaoth, He has sent me after glory to the nations that plundered you, because whoever touches you touches the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand against them, and they will be plundered to their servants. Then you will know that Adonai Sabaoth has sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for behold, I am coming, and I will live among you. It is a declaration of Adonai. And that day many nations will join themselves to Adonai, and they will be my people, and I will dwell among you. Then you will know that Adonai Tzavaot has sent me to you. Adonai will inherit Judah as his portion in the Holy Land, and will once again choose Jerusalem. Be silent before Adonai, all flesh, for he has aroused himself from his holy dwelling. Chapter 3. Then he showed me Joshua, the Kohen Gadol, standing before the angel of Adonai and Satan, standing at his right hand to accuse him. Adonai said to the Satan, Adonai rebukes you, the Satan. Indeed, Adonai, who has chosen Jerusalem, rebukes you. Is not this man a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was wearing filthy garments and standing before the angel, who answered and spoke to those standing before him, saying, Remove the filthy garments from him. Then to Joshua he said, See, I have removed your iniquity from you, and will dress you with fine clothing. Then I said, Place a clean turban on his head. So they put a pure turban on his head and clothed him with garments, while the angel of Adonai stood by. The angel of Adonai exhorted Joshua, saying, Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, if you will walk in my ways and keep my charge, then you will judge my house and watch over my courts, and I will give you a place to walk among these standing here. Listen well, Joshua Kohen Gadol, both you and your companions seated before you, because they are men who are a sign. Behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch. For behold, the stone I have laid before Joshua is one stone with 7 facets. On it I will engrave an inscription, declares Adonai Sabaoth, that I will remove the iniquity of this land in one day. In that day, declares Adonai Sabaoth, every man will invite his neighbor to sit under the vine and under the fig tree. Chapter 4. Then the angel who had been speaking with me returned and woke me, like a man who is awakened from his sleep. He asked me, What do you see? I replied, Behold, I see a solid gold menorah, with its bowl at the top of it and 7 lamps on it, with 7 pipes for the lamps that are on the top of it. Also 2 olive trees are by it, one on the right side of the bowl and the other on the left side of it. Then I responded by saying to the angel speaking with me, What are these, my Lord? The angel who spoke with me responded by asking me, You do not know what these are. I replied, No, my Lord. Then he responded to me by saying, This is the word of Adonai to Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my ruach, says Adonai Tzavaot. What are you, great mountain? Before Zerubbabel you will become a plain. He will bring out the capstone with a shout of grace, grace to it. Again, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands will also finish it. Then you will know that Adonai Tzavaot has sent me to you. For who despises the day of small things? These 7, which are the eyes of Adonai that run back and forth throughout the whole earth, will rejoice when they see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hand. Then I responded by asking him, What are these 2 olive trees on the right and on the left of the menorah? Again I asked him, What are these 2 olive branches beside the 2 golden pipes that empty the golden oil out of them? He said to me, You do not know what these are? I said, No, my Lord. So he said, "These are the two anointed ones who are standing by the Lord of the whole earth." Chapter 5. Once again I lifted up my eyes, and behold, I saw a flying scroll. Then the angel asked me, "What do you see?" I replied, "I see a flying scroll, 20 cubits long and 10 cubits wide." He said to me, "This is the curse that goes out over the face of the whole land. Everyone who steals will be swept away from here according to it, and everyone who swears will be swept away from here according to it. I will send it out. It is a declaration of Adonai Tzavaot, and it will enter into the house of a thief and into the house of one who swears falsely by my name, and I will reside inside his house, destroying it, both its woods and its stones." Then the angel speaking with me came forward and said to me, "Now lift up your eyes and see what is appearing." I asked, "What is it?" He replied, "This is the measuring basket that goes out." He continued, "This is their eye in all the land." Then behold, a lead cover was lifted, and a woman was sitting in the middle of the measuring basket. The angel exclaimed, "This is wickedness." Then he shoved her back inside the measuring basket, throwing the lead weight over its mouth. After this, I lifted up my eyes, and behold, I saw two women emerging with the wind in their wings. They had wings like the wings of a stork, and they raised the measuring basket between the earth and the heaven. I asked the angel who was speaking with me, "Where are they taking the measuring basket?" He said, "To build a temple for her in the land of Shinar. Then it is prepared, she will live there. When it is prepared, she will live there in her own place." Chapter 6. Again I lifted up my eyes, and behold, I saw 4 chariots emerging from between the two mountains of bronze. The first chariot had red horses, the second chariot black horses, the third chariot white horses, and the fourth chariot had strong dapple horses. Then I responded by saying to the angel speaking with me, "What are these, my Lord?" The angel answered me, saying, "These are the 4 winds of heaven that go forth from the presence of the Lord of all the earth. The chariot with the black horses is going to the land of the north, and the white ones have gone out after them. But the dappled ones have gone out to the land to the south." Then the strong ones went out. They requested to go to walk throughout the earth. He said, "Go, walk throughout the earth." So they walked throughout the earth. Then he called and spoke to me, saying, "Look, those going toward the land of the north have given rest to my Ruach in the north country." And the word of Adonai came to me, saying, "Take from the exiles from Heldai, Tobiah, and Yedaiah, who have come from Babylon, and go the same day, go to the house of Josiah, son of Zephaniah. Take silver and gold, take crowns, and set on the head of Joshua, son of Jehozadak, the Kohen Gadol. Then speak to him, saying, Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, Behold, a man whose name is the branch will branch out from his place and build the temple of Adonai. He will build the temple of Adonai. He will bear splendor and sit and rule on his throne. Thus he will be a Kohen on his throne. So a council of shalom will be between them both. The crowns will be in the temple of Adonai as a memorial to Helem, Tobiah, and Jedaiah, and to Chen, son of Zephaniah. Those who are far off will come and build in the temple of Adonai. Then you will know that Adonai Tzavaot has sent me to you. It will come to pass if you diligently obey the voice of Adonai your God. Chapter 7. In the 4th year of King Darius, the word of Adonai came to Zechariah on the 4th day of the 9th month in Kislev. Now Beth-El sent Sarezer and Regem Melech together with his men, to seek the favor of Adonai, and to speak to the Kohanim of the house of Adonai Tzavaot, and to the prophets, saying, should I mourn and consecrate myself in the 5th month, as I have done for so many years? Then the word of Adonai Tzavaot came to me, saying, speak to all the people of the land and to the Kohanim, saying, when you fasted and mourned in the 5th and in the 7th month for the past 70 years, did you really fast for me? When you eat and drink, are you not eating and drinking for yourself? Are not these the words that Adonai proclaimed through the former prophets, when Jerusalem with its surrounding cities were inhabited and prosperous, then when the Negev and lowland were inhabited? Again the word of Adonai came to Zechariah, saying, thus says Adonai Tzavaot, administer true judgment, practice mercy and compassion, each to his brother. Do not oppress the widow or the orphan, the outsider or the poor. Furthermore, do not let any of you devise evil against one another in your heart. But they refused to pay attention. They stubbornly turned their backs and stopped their ears from hearing. Indeed, they made their hearts as hard as flint, preventing them from hearing the Torah of the words that Adonai Tzavaot sent by his Ruach throughout the former prophets. Consequently, great wrath came from Adonai Tzavaot. It came about that just as he called and they did not listen, so they would call and I would not listen, says Adonai Tzavaot. I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations they have not known. Thus the land was left so desolate behind them that no one passed through or returned, for they made the pleasant land desolate. Chapter 8. Then the word of Adonai Tzavaot came, saying, thus says Adonai Tzavaot, I am exceedingly zealous for Zion. I am burning with jealousy for her. Thus says Adonai, I will return to Zion and dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. Then Jerusalem will be called the city of truth, and the mountain of Adonai Tzavaot will be called the holy mountain. Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, once again, old men and old women will sit in the streets of Jerusalem, each with its staff in his hand because of his age. The streets of the city will be full of boys and girls playing in its streets. Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, it may seem difficult in the eyes of the remnant of this people in those days, but will it also be difficult in my eyes? It is a declaration of Adonai Tzavaot. Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, behold, I will save my people from the land of the east and from the land of the west. I will bring them back, and they will live in the midst of Jerusalem. They will be my people, and I will be their God, in truth and righteousness. Thus says Adonai Tzavaot, let your hands be strong, you who hear these words spoken by the prophets who were there the day the fountain of the house of Adonai Tzavaot was laid, so that the temple may be rebuilt. Before those days, there were no wages for man or animal, nor was there any shalom from adversity for those who came or went, because I set everyone against his neighbor. But now I will not treat the remnant of this people as in the former days. It is the declaration of Adonai Tzavaot. For there will be a sowing of shalom. The vine will yield its fruit. The ground will produce its increase. The heavens will give their due. I will cause the remnant of this people to inherit all these things. It will happen that just as you were a curse among the nations, house of Judah, the house of Israel, so will I save you, and you will be a blessing. Fear not, let your hands be strong. For thus says Adonai Tzavaot, just as I determined to harm you when your fathers provoked me to anger, says Adonai Tzavaot, and I did not relent, so I've again determined in these days to do good to Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear not, these are the things that you are to do. Speak the truth one to another. Administer the judgment of truth and shalom in your gates. Do not let any of you devise evil in your hearts against your neighbor, and do not love false oaths, for I hate all these things. It is a declaration of Adonai. Again, the word of Adonai Tzabaoth came, saying, Thus says Adonai Tzabaoth, in the fast of the 4th, the fast of the 5th, the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th month will become joy, gladness, and cheerful Moadim. Therefore I love truth and shalom. Thus says Adonai Tzabaoth, peoples and the inhabitants of many cities will again come. The inhabitants of one city will go to another, saying, Let us go to entreat the favor of Adonai and to seek Adonai Tzabaoth. I also am going. Indeed, many peoples and powerful nations will come to seek Adonai Tzabaoth in Jerusalem and to entreat the favor of Adonai. Thus says Adonai Tzabaoth, in those days it will come to pass that 10 men from every language of the nations will grasp the corner of the garment of a Jew, saying, Let us go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. Chapter 9. The burden of the word of Adonai is against the land of Hadrach, and will rest upon Damascus. For the eyes of men and all the tribes of Israel are toward Adonai, and also upon Hamath bordering it, and upon Tyre and Sidon. Though they are very shrewd, Tyre built herself a fortress and heaped up silver like dust and fine gold like dirt in the streets. Behold, the Lord will impoverish her and destroy her power on the sea, while she will be devoured by fire. Ashkelon will see it and fear. Gaza will writhe in pain, as will Ekron, because her hope will dry up. The king will perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon will be uninhabited. A mongrel people will live in Ashdod, and I will cut off the Philistines' pride. I will remove the blood from his mouth, forbidden food from between his teeth. Whoever is left will be a remnant for our God. He will be like a leader in Judah, and Ekron will be like a Jebusite. But I will camp around my house against marauding forces. No oppressor will overrun them again, for now I watch with my own eyes. Rejoice greatly, daughter of Zion. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you, a righteous one bringing salvation. He is lowly, riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. I will banish chariots from Ephraim and horses from Jerusalem, and the war bow will be broken. He will speak shalom to the nations. His rule will extend from sea to sea, from the river to the ends of the earth. As for you also, by the blood of your covenant, I will release your prisoners from the waterless pit. Return to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Today I declare that I will restore twice as much to you. I will bend Judah as my bow and fill it with Ephraim. I will rouse your sons, O Zion, against your sons, O Greece. I will wield you like a warrior's sword. Then Adonai will be seen over them, and as his arrow flashes like lightning, Adonai Elohim will blow the shofar and march in whirlwinds of the south. Adonai Tzabaoth will defend them. They will consume and conquer with sling stones. They will drink and roar as with wine and be filled like a bowl. Like the corners of the altar, Adonai their God will save them on that day as the flock of his people. They will be like gems of a crown sparkling over his land. How good and beautiful it will be. Grains will make the young men thrive, and new wine the virgin woman